Today on the TCTV training show, we'll be looking at a training segment that's totally for the birds. And we'll take a stroll through Tumwater Falls Park. And then we'll learn how to make a zine. And later on, we'll say goodbye to Peter Goodmanson forever.
And I'll see you in another time.
It's the TCTV training show. The TCTV training show. They're learning how to shoot and learning how to light, learning how to mic and edit right. These are TCTV's finest in training, doing their best with focusing and framing. It's the TCTV training show. The TCTV training show. You're watching TCTV. It's the training show. The TCTV training show. They will get better.
Welcome to this month's episode of the TCTV Training Show. I'm Freddie, a media trainer and facilitator here at Thurston Community Television, and you're about to enjoy the TCTV Training Show. It's the only show where you get to see the very first projects of TCTV's brand newest producers. These are all never been seen before, exciting new projects that people have made for their very first class at TCTV. And that's the Digital Field and Editing class, a $20 course that you can take at TCTV, which is where you learn how to use all of our digital field equipment, like the cameras and the tripods and the microphones. And then they also get to learn about how to use Final Cut Express and do nonlinear editing. At the end of each class, every student has to make a 3-minute project that highlights the skills that they've learned through the class. This is their camera work and their editing skills, and then we play them here on the TCTV Training Show. So you're about to see some really cool projects, and if you are interested in taking any classes at TCTV or just want to find out more about the training show itself, you can give us a call at 360-956-3100 or just go to the website tctv.net and click on training. You can watch the TCTV training show every Thursday at 8 and every Sunday at 3:30 on channel 22, or you can stream it all online on tctv.net. But enough of all that. Let's move on to our first segment. This one comes from Christy Johnson, and it's called For the Birds. So let's take a look.
I started coming down to this place about a year ago to drink my morning latte and read the newspaper. The place is at the end of West Bay Drive, down at the foot of Raft Street, across from the port and Priest Point Park. The best part for me has been getting to know the birds down here, the crows and the seagulls in particular. There's one seagull who greets me without fail. When I come down here in the morning, I call him Bootsy. And I enjoy just being down there and seeing the water and the birds and having my relaxing coffee, and just sort of a place I never really paid much attention to. And I really wouldn't probably have kept going down if it hadn't been for the birds. The western gull and the crow. And the random farm equipment or machinery. And of course, my dear friend, Bootsy.
Thanks a lot, Christy. This is a wonderful piece with a lot of heart, and it's really touching, actually. I loved the opening, too, and the music that you chose throughout the whole piece. All of that just fits so well, and the birds flying off at the very beginning. Yeah, it was very cinematic and really, really well done. The beginning voiceover, though, was a little bit distorted. It had kind of this weird garble to it.
I started coming down to this place about a year ago.
If you're interested in learning more about voiceovers, there's a nice little training tip in the last episode of the TCTV training show, and you could check that out. Dan Bennett did that. It's really fantastic, and it talks and compares about different mics and stuff and how to make a good voiceover. So, anyway, but you did a fantastic job. The footage of the birds was fantastic. You really caught them in their environment and it looked beautiful. And even though it was handheld, most of the time it was really, really steady. There were a couple times, though, when you would zoom in farther and start to shake a lot. That's because the more zoomed in you are, the more susceptible the camera is to little tiny hand movements and stuff. So if you want steady shots when you're doing handheld, you want to stay zoomed out. But I can understand when you're trying to get some bird watching done that that's what needs to be done. My most favorite part was the multi-layered soundscape. You had all kinds of different things going on. You had a voiceover on top, a music bed underneath, and then you still had some, and I don't even want to say ambient noise, but you had even talking sometimes from the actual tape and being there at the park. And that just turned into a really cool audio piece, a really good audioscape.
Would you like some bread with your clams?
Really wouldn't probably have kept going down if it hadn't been for the birds.
All in all, this was a wonderful piece, a great training segment, and it was an interesting look at a park that was not from the point of the park, but the point of the animals and the birds that lived there. So I really appreciated this one. Thank you so much, Christy. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at a video about Tumwater Falls Park, and this is brought to us by our own Kimberly Spada. So let's see these waterfalls.
Welcome to Tumwater Falls Park. Tumwater Falls Park is located in the historic city of Tumwater, Washington, where the Deschutes River ends its journey from the shoulders of the Cascade Range to tumble a final 82 feet into Capitol Lake. Bordering the banks of the river is Tumwater Falls Park, providing the visitors with 15 acres filled with natural, picturesque beauty and year-round atmosphere of enjoyment for those of all ages. Tumwater Falls Park is owned and operated by the Olympia Tumwater Foundation, a nonprofit organization that uses its facilities and lands to promote its passion for education. It was created in 1950 by local citizens and descendants of Leopold Schmidt, the founder of the former Olympia Brewing Company. 1/2 mile of walking trails are highlighted by cascading waterfalls, still, reflective pools, and massive rocks. Spanning the river at both ends of the gorge and connecting the network of trails are footbridges designed for compatibility with the surroundings and historic accuracy. Visitors will find wide expanses of beautifully maintained lawns, picnic facilities, and sand-filled area for children, featuring uniquely designed play items, immaculate restrooms, and ample parking. Special event and large group reservations are available by calling Tumwater Falls Park at 360-943-2550. Tumwater Falls Park is pet-friendly and provides complimentary waste removal bags.
Hello there. My name is John Tavius Jackson, and I've been coming to this park for the last 3 months. It's a great place to come jog and even have a picnic with your family. Tumwater Falls Park. I really enjoy it, and so should you.
A wide variety of native trees and shrubs line both sides of the river as it pitches and eddies through a gorge of bouldered rapids and deep pools, its course culminating in a mist-filled plunge over Tumwater Falls. Deschutes River, Lower Falls, was historically an impassable barrier to salmon and other anadromous fish, preventing a native salmon run on the river. In 1954, the Department of Fisheries constructed fish ladders to allow fish to circumnavigate the falls and rapids.
Thanks a lot, Kim. This was a really, really beautiful piece. And it also had a fantastic voiceover. The whole time it was interesting and lively, and it really kept the flow of the thing going. That was great. And some of the shots that you got, I mean, every single one of them was really well done, but some of them were downright artistic. It really highlighted the park in a good way. There was a couple parts, like during the long pans, when the tripod seemed to jar a little bit or skip. One way to avoid that is to make sure that you've got your pan tension down so that you can have a nice smooth shot. But other than that, it looked really good. Aside from that, if there was anything that I would have done differently, it would have maybe been leaving out the wedding part. The piece just didn't seem to fit with the rest of your project. It didn't get mentioned in the voiceover, and it kind of like went kind of fast and skipped right by it. So either maybe add something to the voiceover about it, or maybe just cut that part out entirely. I loved your text. The orange went really good with the green background of the forest, and most of the time it was really easy to read, it just popped. However, there were a couple times when there was a lot of text on screen, and it didn't really go with the voiceover. They weren't talking about the same thing. And when that happens, it gets hard to read and a little bit distracting. So I usually try to keep it to about 3 lines of text on the screen so that people can keep up and pay attention. Kimberly, thank you so much. This is a really gorgeous and informative piece. So a really good look at Tumwater Falls Park. Next up, we've got the training tip of the day. And this is our little segment where we give you a little training tip, little help so that you can make your videos even better and even easier. And today, we've got an editing tip. And this one's from our very own Eric Oderman, and it's all about how to use keyboard shortcuts in Final Cut. So it'll get you going way faster. All right, let's check it out.
Oh man, where is that pen tool? I can never find anything in Final Cut Express. I wish there was an easier way.
Is this you clicking around to find something deep inside of the Final Cut Express interface? Hi, I'm Eric, a media trainer with TCTV, and today I'm going to teach you how to use keyboard shortcuts. It's a much faster way of editing with Final Cut Express. You already know how to edit using the mouse. You can also perform just about every function using 1 or 2 keystrokes in a fraction of the time. Let's get started. After you've set your scratch disks and opened up Final Cut Express, you want to save a new project right away. To save a project for the first time, type Shift-Command-S to save project as. Each subsequent time you need to save a project, just hit Command-S to save project. Now it's time to ingest some video and other production elements into your project. To launch the Log and Capture dialog, type Command-8. By the way, when you're done with a particular window, just hit Command-W to close it. Need to import some jump backs, audio files, or still images? Type Command-I to import files. Once you've got everything logged in the bin, there's some useful keyboard shortcuts you can use to keep stuff organized. Command-B will create a new bin. Command-N will create a new sequence. Now it's time to trim our raw footage. Once you open up a clip in the viewer, use the I and O keys to mark an in and out point. Now you can drop the trimmed clip into the timeline. Speaking of the timeline, this is where keyboard shortcuts can really save you some time. If you want to scrub through your footage, press the J key to rewind and the L key to fast forward. The more you tap either key, the faster it goes. The K key resumes or pauses play. If you want to zoom the timeline so that you can see your entire project from start to finish, press Shift-Z. So what about that toolbar? If you need to cut your footage, select the Blade tool by pressing the B key. Need to adjust keyframes? Select the Pen tool by pressing P. Pressing P again will cycle through the different pen tools. Similarly, pressing T repeatedly will cycle through the different track selection tools. For example, pressing T 4 times will allow you to select all tracks forward. When you're done making edits with tools, tap the A key to return to the selection tool. A few commands to use when you're ready to render a sequence. To render a selection, press Command R. If you need to render everything on your timeline, press Option R. Finally, when you're all done editing, remember to save with Command S. You can quit Final Cut by pressing Command Q.
Wow, that was easy.
That's right. Remember, if you forget a keyboard shortcut, all you need to do is look at the Final Cut menu or hover your mouse over a button and read the tooltip, and you'll be a keyboard whiz in no time. That's it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot, Eric. That was a really great tip. Although, there is one keyboard shortcut I use all the time and didn't see in your training tip, and that is Command Z. That's undo. So I'm sure you guys are all familiar with that too. Anyway, next up we have a how-to video on how to make a zine, and this comes from Nikki Thompson, and there's some animation in this one, so look forward to that. Thanks a lot, Nikki. I, first of all, love training segments that are how-tos, but the fact that you mixed in animation there just really felt like you were going above and beyond the expectations of the class, and it was really great. It all looked fantastic. You also had really good examples of B-roll in this project, and that's all the stuff that you cut in on top of other footage or on top of a voiceover, basically cutaways and things like that. You were using images, you had live video in there, and even the drawings and the animations. It was all really, really well done. And speaking of soundscapes and voiceovers, another thing that I think really stood out about your project was the music that you got. It was really exciting to hear something that was other than the 780 free songs from the hard drives, and when I heard that you actually got the permission of the band to use their music, that is just a great way to go about it. And I really encourage people to seek out the local bands and musicians that they know. But all in all, this is a wonderful, beautiful project and a really great how-to for some really exciting stuff. I hope to see a lot of people making some zines. And yeah, keep going with the animation too. The animation looks fantastic. So the mailbox is just really adorable. So thank you. And finally, the last item on the agenda today is to say goodbye to Peter Goodmanson. He is moving on to Metro East, and yeah, he's not dying or anything, but he is going away down to Oregon. So we have a little video of remembrance for him, and we just want to take this moment to honor him.
Tonight, VHS versus DVD. I bring them on stage for a fight to the death. Then, the world is upgrading to high def, but how high is too high? And my guests, the May Digital Field and Editing class. Watch as they fall into the gorge of eternal peril.
Great job on your video, Bonnie. It looked really professional. So let's see what the judges think. Well, that's all the time we have for today. What? Oh, right, we haven't scored yet. Okay. Well, judges, I think that they're compiling the results right now. So all in all, this video was a good learning experience for you. I know you spent a lot of time in the editing bays working on this, and so I'll give you 3 out of 5 candy canes. Nice job, Devin. So let's go on to our next piece. This one's by Nate Riley, and I hear it's supposed to be pretty good. There's something in here? Let's find out.
Here's to my class, here's to 2010, and for those of you sitting on your couches out there, remember, even you can be a producer too. My name is Peter Goodmanson. Have a happy new year.
Thanks for watching the TCTV training show, and I'll see you in another time.
Whoa! Robert Cam, Member Services Manager, what are you doing here?
Peter! You have to come back with me to the future. It's important. The training show class depends on it.
What? I gotta do something about my class?
Download the Flux Capacitor app on your iPhone.
Are you sure you haven't been eating human food? You're looking like you could use a tune-up, Rusty.
My name is Hal, and I drink Mom's old-fashioned robot oil like any normal machine.
Gross. I'll have nothing less than a venti extra hot oil latte with extra foaming lubricant.
Apple bud, yuppie extraordinaire.
Don't be jealous that your programming isn't as radiant and flawless as mine.
They don't make them like they used to.
Whoa! Oh no. Oh, this is bad. I think I'm somewhere where I shouldn't be. Oh my gosh. These must be all the shows that are on television. I wonder if I could just... Whoa! Now this is cool.
Peter, it's been a pleasure working with you, and I wish you the best at Metro East. All right, so that's it for the TCTV training show. With that sappy bit out of the way, we're going to go ahead and close here. You can catch us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and every Sunday at 3:30, or just go to the website tctv.net And that's also where you can find out more information about the training show or our training programs, or feel free to give us a call, 360-956-3100, or you can friend us on Facebook. We're very friendly, so we'd love to chat. Let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I just wanted to say that all the 3 producers you saw today, I give them my stamp of approval. They are 100% certified in all digital field and editing software. Congratulations, guys. Thanks for watching the TCTV training show. We'll see you next month.
It's the TCTV training show. The TCTV training show. They're learning how to shoot and learning how to light, learning how to mic and edit right. These are TCTV's finest in training, doing their best with focusing and framing. It's the TCTV training show. The TCTV training show. You're watching TCTV. It's the training show. The TCTV training show. They will get better.